Well, howdy there, y'all. Yamasaki here. Welcome back to the channel. And happy 4th of July to all you Americans out there. And since it's the 4th, I figured I'd make another video on this old beast right here. I made a video on it about 4 years ago. Some of you might remember it, but this is my 1982 Toyota Trekker 4x4 pickup. And I've been doing a little work on it throughout the past couple of days and weeks and everything like that. And you know what? This thing deserves some R&R. No, not rest and relaxation, you dunderheads. A redneck restoration. So let's get to it. So yeah, here is the Trekker, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you, like I said, might remember it from a couple years ago, but it's just been sitting out in the backyard waiting for work to be done on it, and finally got around to doing it this year. It hasn't changed much. I mean, there's a few things that have changed since the last time you guys have seen it. Number one, it's got some the original SR5 chrome rims that I did a review on with some 4CM off-road tires. So I shined all those up and put those on. Now it's got a good set of tires on it. As you guys know, I robbed the door off of this because it wasn't dented up and it was almost the same color as my pickup. So its door is actually on my pickup now. It was in better shape than mine, so figured I would use it. This is the only other good door that's left. My original one on my truck has a nice big dent going right here. I swapped out the hood, and the truck that the hood came off of was also the truck that my 81 22R and 5-speed transmission came out of. It was an SR5, and I swapped out the hoods on this one with the original because these corners here are really bent up and out of shape, and this one's a little bent up. It's hard to open the hood sometimes because right around here, I don't know if you can see, it's bent down, so every time I open it up it's wanting to make contact right here and be a little stiff to open up, so I'm going to need to figure out a way to hammer that out. But it's a nice one. Definitely needs a new paint job. This thing's going to get a whole new paint job, of course. I stole the bench seat out of the blue long bed pickup. The original seats that were in here were not original. I've stated some of this stuff in its previous video, but it's been so long. Figured I'd just catch you guys up. It's a really nice bench seat. It's original to these pickups, so I figured I've never seen a Toyota Trekker with a bench seat, so I'm going to put one in here. The dash is all the same. Pretty wore out. They're always cut out over there, because the radios didn't work and people needed their music, you know, back in the day, you know, no effects. So they always cut those out. There's some floorboard trim, and there's a battery hold down. I ordered a J-hook. And of course it still has its rust holes. Eventually I'm going to put new floor pans in it because they've started making those again. And I ripped out a lot of the interior a couple years ago too, because it was just trash. All this crap was just hanging down low and you couldn't sit in it or drive in it. Got a little moss farm growing in the back, it always has, on that carpet. But it's really clean. It's a really clean Trekker. Ended up swapping out this hatch for the one on that one over there. But my brother-in-law ended up getting the other one, so we swapped back, and he knows a guy who can cut a brand new piece of glass for this here. Luckily it's just a flat plane. This is just plexiglass, which is better than nothing, but still would like it to be glass, of course. And it still has the usual damage up here. Seems like there just wasn't enough support on the fiberglass, so these spots on these near these hinges always crack. So when I get around to fiberglass and I'm going to need to jack up the roof a little bit, make it to where this stuff's flush, and then fiberglass it, put some supports in from top to bottom, make sure it doesn't do that anymore. It's got both tail lights still. You can see a little bit more damage, but it's like my brother-in-law was saying, a little bit of fiberglassing and sanding, and it's not that hard to repair fiberglass, especially one in this good a shape. There's no leaks at all. It does have the original windows here. These are glass. But you can see, for those of you who don't know what a Trekker is, I don't blame you. They only made about 1,000 to 1,500 of these. And it was a concept vehicle to what's now known as the Toyota 4Runner. Basically what they did is they took a old standard early 80s Toyota pickup from the cab forward, and they cut a big hole out in the back, and then Winnebago, they teamed up with Winnebago, and Winnebago designed all this. Well, it was a Toyota design, but Winnebago was the one that built the entire back half of these Trekkers, which is all fiberglass, from top to bottom, from front to back. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And this one's in good shape because I don't know if there was work done on this back in the day, but the seal here is beautiful. I mean, there's some spots that need to be resealed, but from all the way around there's this nice big fat bead of silicone that's not allowing any weather to get into it, which is nice. It's a problem on that other one, unfortunately. I have done a little bit of work to this. Like I said, I need to pop the hood, but I'll show you why I can't open the door on that side. Got the grill and some bumper brackets painted up on it. I need to hammer out this front valance right here because it's a little dented up. But right here, it took on some damage a couple years ago when my dad was backing up the four-wheeler. That four-wheeler's so torquey, it just backed up so fast, and Dad bumped into this. It looks bad, but it really doesn't look terrible. If you look on this side, it's kind of already, you know, bowled out there to an extent. And then over here, you can kind of see where it was bending. I don't think it'll be that bad to bend back, you know. Just gotta, you know, kind of call it good. So I've got another fender. I've got a brown fender which matches this door. Came off the same pickup, so that's one good thing about having spare parts lying around. You can usually fix what you need to get fixed. Alright, so I figured I'd pop the hood for you guys a little bit. I've done a little bit of work, like I've said. Put the Weber carburetor on just like my truck. Had to supply some block off plates for there and back there because I got rid of all that EGR emission control bullshit that you don't need. And I added that Weber, some new fuel line. Still wasn't firing up, so me and my brother-in-law tested out the fuel pump, and turns out it was bad, but I already had bought one for it, so I slapped that on there and it fires right up. Just put a new battery in it and it was good to go. I replaced the fuel filter yesterday, and now for some reason it's not wanting to idle. My brother-in-law did a little bit of idle adjustment on this to make it idle a little lower, but maybe now since it's got some clean fuel and a new fuel filter, needs a little bit more adjustment because I have to constantly give it a little bit of gas to stay going. So did a little bit of pressure washing to it as well. Look at that. Motor's pretty damn shiny for almost 40 years old. Still need to do a little bit of work on it. I think I want to paint the valve cover, but I'm going to need to take it all the way off and get it clean first before I do that. And I will be showing you guys all the parts that I bought for this thing. I bought a buttload of parts. I'm talking plugs, wires, distributor cap, you know, dash cover, you name it, I bought for this thing because it's a Toyota Trekker. So damn rare. I'm going to try and keep it original, but update it a little bit with some good quality parts and make sure it's running nice and clean, and then we can start making it pretty. Still need to add the air filter to it, and you can see this door. Every time every time I shut this hood, paint's falling off. It's just chipping so bad. So I probably need to take this thing off and pressure wash all the flaky shit off. And then paint strip it or sand it or whatever, and then repaint it, of course. Had to also bleed the clutch. Oh, and that's lovely. Looks like I lost my clutch cap. That's not good. That's very bad. Probably need to buy a new master cylinder for the clutch anyway, so looks like it's not dripping or leaking or anything, so we're gonna leave that. We're gonna call it good. That's not there. Excuse me. This is in clean shape. Or not. Dang it. So one bad thing about these trucks, this plastic reservoir here for your wiper fluid and your overflow tank on your coolant, they're so brittle anymore, they like to break. Like I was trying to open mine up, and this tab here on my pickup, it was starting to flake, so I had to use a screwdriver and just slowly pry it up. It's one bad thing. Hope somebody's gonna make a spare or a brand new one from an original someday. That would be nice. That would definitely be nice. I don't know if I showed you guys the underside, but it's actually relatively clean. It's all surface rust. It looks dirty, but like I said, it's just surface rust. Nothing too major to worry about. But like I did show you guys, it does have the floor plans rusting out. This windshield is in dire need of a replacement. That windshield is the worst out of any vehicle we have here. It's just in bad shape, but luckily I bought a seal. I just got to go buy a windshield, have some guys install it for me, and it'll have a new windshield just like that. There's the dash. I think the heating system did work, but these trucks are not known to put out a lot of heat, if any. I just don't know why. It's just the way they designed it, pretty much. The headliner's good in here. The carpet, yeah, it definitely needs to be taken out, but oh well. I'm going to fire it up for you guys, but I'm going to have to be in here in order to keep it running. So, yeah, let's see what this thing sounds like. I guess another thing I should show you is if you do add your Weber carburetor, I didn't find this out until I actually did it on this truck in particular. Because on my truck, like I've showed you, it was all disassembled, so everything I had to put together myself instead of taking it apart and then replacing the parts. If you put your Weber carb on, you're going to need to do that block-off plate on the manifold, that block-off plate over there on the corner on the head, and then if you're taking off all the EGR stuff, there's a pipe that runs around here that goes into the manifold, the exhaust manifold here. There's two plates down there you can see, number 1, number 2, and there's that pipe connects to those 2 points there. So when you take that off, you need to get some block-off plates, and they look like these, and just slap them on there. And this manifold is cracked, as you can see, pretty wore out. But something I didn't know, my dad told me, is that these manifolds are just known to crack. It's just a thing that happens on them. So I learned something new that day. I think we're low on power steering fluid here. Let's check it out first before we fire it up. Oh yeah. So we're going to leave that. We're going to call that okay. Who needs power steering? Armstrong steering, y'all. Anyway, let's fire this puppy up. So yeah, it's running all right. The throttle response is good. It's just it doesn't want to idle anymore. As soon as I replace that fuel filter, it doesn't want to idle anymore. It's so weird. But before I did that, it was idling beautifully. And I don't know why, but it's almost like... I noticed this the other day. This hose, for some reason, is sucking itself up. And I don't know why. So, I bought a new one, and I believe I did. I bought a thermostat and a gasket, and I'm going to just replace all the cooling in it. See if that cooling's, you know, sticking that thermostat closed and all that. Because the only thing that's been changed on this, aside from the carburetor, is when me and my dad originally got this thing going, probably almost 10 years ago, is we replaced the oil. So the oil and the oil filter are all nice and clean and everything. So that's probably next, and then I need to check the transmission, the transfer case, and the diffs, of course, see if there's oil in those and all that. But yeah, as of right now, let's go check out some of the parts I got for this thing to make it pretty and shine again. Yeah. Now I was going to drag all the parts out, but I figured that would take a while. So here is the mishmash of parts. Whole bunch. I got some, well, there's the air filter that I still got to put on the Weber. I bought a new oil filler cap from LCE Engineering. Figured that's going to be really nice if I paint the valve cover on that. There is a Toyota soft dash pad cover, and then I've got a large plastic one just like the one I stuck on my truck, except it's black. I've got some crankcase breather filters right here. Got some new lug nuts. I bought a new intake manifold gasket in case I ever need it. There is the windshield seal. I bought some lights. They're round headlights. Those were originally square, but I don't like them on the earlier pickups. I like the circular ones, so I went and bought the housings and everything for those to fit them up properly. I'll need to do some modifying, like drill one hole, because they were designed to hold them, but they usually had nuts welded on the back so you could just put some screws in. But since they were square, not round, you have to add your own hardware. There is the upper radiator hose. I think I bought, well, there's a distributor cap, another oil filter in here. I know I got, there's a thermostat. There is a temp sensor for your gauge on your dash. New set of spark plugs. There's a gasket right there. That should probably be put right there just to stay safe. So yeah, I have a bunch of parts ready to put on this thing. I'm just going to need to find the time to put everything on and yeah, make it pretty. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can show you guys on this thing for now until I start doing the restoration series on it. Not sure when that's going to happen, but it's going to happen because I know what some of you were asking, if it's for sale. And unfortunately, guys, this one is not for sale. I know what this is. I've had plans for it for a long time. I'm going to take good care of it. I'm not going to modify it and turn this into a rock crawler. No way. No sirree, Bob. This one's going to stay original. Make a nice paint job. All that. Yeah, it's going to be really nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy 4th of July to all you Americans out there that are able to celebrate America as well as everybody else. I know this isn't an American pickup, but hell, these were the pickups that America needed at the time, and we need now more than ever. Screw that emission control garbage. I want small pickups to hit America again. Come on now, y'all. Let's start a petition for this. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more content. And Yamasaki out. See y'all later.